And we are back. That was Interpol with Obstacle 1. How's it going, Mike?
Not too bad. So I'm pretty sure that Matthew enjoyed himself, and I think that in the future, I think Matt may be able to join us and talk about some more issues.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I consider ourselves to be privileged to have spoken with him today on the show. It's very helpful to speak with someone of his credentials to get educated, so to speak, on the issues, the deeper underlying economic issues that are so important right now for people to sort out if they want to make informed political decisions.
exactly, exactly. It's unfortunate if we had more time, and I think that that conversation could be probably 6 hours, but we have to limit ourselves
We got to
to
keep it
make the
rolling.
show
Yeah. And I'd love to
understandable
have
and
Matthew
listenable.
back on again if he's willing. It appears that he has a certain willingness to provide education and information to people who are trying to find their way in the complex global issues of finance.
Exactly, and if people go to his blog New World every day and read a couple of his articles, right away they'll see that his ability to explain these complex issues is quite, he does a really good job at it.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing that I didn't want to jump in because I didn't want to pull us into too many different directions, but the only thing that I would like to add on Stephen Harper in Davos at the World Economic Forum. There seems to be some sort of a contradiction, and I know no one would dare to call Stephen Harper out on flip-flopping in the Canadian media, but Stephen Harper, and when it's like he decides which version of his future he wants to put out there, and sometimes he talks about how great Canada's doing, and then at other times it seems like him and his ministers come out and they say, Canada's not out of harm's way, and it's kind of like they're waiting for the bruises to appear.
Yeah. So
And
here's the thing, like, you know what? Not to cut in on you, but
yeah,
you just touched on something that is a raw nerve for me, and you know, if he's going to go to Davos to brag to the rest of the world leaders that Canada is such a bastion of sound fiscal policy, why are we on the precipice of an extreme austerity package in this next budget?
that's where I was going with this. I mean, something that you can't deny, that the financial meltdown 2008, rampant speculation, was a huge portion of what triggered this crisis. And now even Canada, which is apparently doing so well, as he says, is going to see almost, well, he doesn't want to use the word austerity, but what originally was going to be $4 billion in cuts is now looking like it might be about $8 billion.
Yeah, and one of these things it's gonna be an adjustment that he's hinted at, and I like how he makes all these announcements overseas when there is nobody to question him at all. He makes these announcements. For example, there was no mention ever before Davos that there's changes coming to the Canada pension plan. You know what I mean? And
that one
now
just
we have
goes right.
now we
Sorry.
have wild speculation as to what that means. All he said is that it won't affect existing people that are already drawing it. He will not reduce it. Now that has speculation, meaning maybe he's going to be bumping the age of eligibility up to 67 from 65. Maybe he's going to unpeg it from inflation. Okay.
Right.
And that's essentially reducing it. By the way, it's only a weasel would say that unpegging it from inflation is not reducing it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're almost their same argument in healthcare funding, right? They're not decreasing anything. They're decreasing the increase, so that shouldn't be considered a decrease.
Tipped his cap in Davos, so that now we're going to have a whole bunch of wild speculation about what it could be, and then basically we're going to be swinging at phantoms until he actually says what it is. There's going to be no consultation. There's going to be nothing of the sort. You know what I mean? So
consultation. Who should Harper talk to? He can figure everything out by himself.
I know he certainly didn't talk to the Canadian people about cutting Canada pension plan when he was campaigning last summer. You know what I mean? Could have talked to someone then.
Exactly.
This can't be. Nothing's changed so radically since then that this new measure is suddenly necessary, and he never thought about it before. So I don't know. And
I had sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just my favorite girl that's in the old age home right now, Betty, 87, who voted for Stephen Harper because Pastor Bill told her to, and that was because Stephen Harper will fight abortion. You know what I mean? Betty right now may not be touched by this right now. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I hope the Bettys of this world get up in arms and get serious about opposing the conservative agenda next time out, because we're going to need them. The way he's going to do this, and I'm going to go far afield and speculate here. The way he's going to do this is, I do think what's in store is either a combination of raising the age of eligibility and, if not unpegging it completely from the cost of living index, i.e. the inflation rate, then there's going to be a combination of the two. Okay, so you're going to have to be older to get it, and when you get it, it's going to be in a constant state of decrease as inflation eats up the value of it.
Right.
So if you're let's say you're 30 years old, you don't care. You're not thinking that far ahead. Let's say you're already getting it. You don't care. You're already getting it. You know what I mean? He's going to target a very slim part of the demographic to piss off with this, and it's also not going to piss off people who have a lot of money, because he'll make it work for their while in other tax cuts. It's the working poor that are approaching retirement age, and most of them don't vote.
Right.
So he's always smart about how he does this, who he attacks. He always attacks the defenseless people that don't have a coherent sense of how they should be voting.
Exactly. It goes to show the amount of time and energy and discussion that the Conservative Party obviously puts on that end of the scale, and totally avoids any sort of dialogue or conversation when it comes to actually enacting policy. Mm-hmm. And all I can say to Nancy, 87, is just it's not bad to think for yourself. Stop listening to the grumpy, angry man in the lobby who tells you to vote Conservative, or your pastor, or whoever it is that just keeps telling you to vote Conservative. It's okay to think for yourself.
Yeah, and those that narrow demographic that I just described, who is being targeted with these measures, that Harper understands don't vote a lot. Get out there and vote next time.
Get out and vote, exactly.
Read the newspaper, vote, listen to this show, and then vote.
Yeah.
Listen to this show. Get everyone else to listen to this show, and then vote. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I got to say too, just on this subject, I had a kind of a convergence of ideas yesterday. I don't know what was wrong with me. I didn't all year. I didn't really watch any of the Rick Mercer report, and then I kind of sat down and watched a whole bunch of them in a row. And other than saying that Rick Mercer is a genius and that I really admire that guy, it made me realize, when I look at this austerity budget that Harper's going to present, it not only is he going to cut more, but he's making those cuts to make room for increased spending in military and criminal justice. It could damage 50,000 or remove 50,000 public sector jobs, and it made me think. You know what? I think that Stephen Harper is going to give the same quality of material that Jon Stewart got from George W. Bush, Rick Mercer will get from Stephen Harper in Canada. And I mean, that was just something that it was like just watching him in his work and how brilliant he was in his, it's comedy, but it's still commentary on the political scene. And Rick Mercer's just being handed a plate with a million things on it to make fun of.
Yeah.
And this may make Rick Mercer's career.
Well, I hope Rick Mercer finds some company in his lampooning of Stephen Harper and his opposition to those ideas, because there's not too much of it going on in the CBC right now. I've said this again and again. I find myself full of disgust when I listen to the CBC these days. And I know they're afraid of budget cuts, and that's understandable because everyone likes to have jobs. You know what I mean? But do your jobs. If you've got a job, do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll go to a musical break and come back and discuss Rob Nicholson's recent appearance on Evan Solomon's radio show, The House, because that
sounds good.
That actually gave me an embolism. I was listening to that last night, and I swear to God I had an embolism. And so you know how I don't like to be alone, so I thought I'd maybe give everyone else an embolism too. So so after this musical break, we'll come back and we'll discuss that. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Here are the Klaxons with Golden Scans on oppositionradio.com.